Namaskar. Good evening, everyone. I am Ravi Gupta. I am editor-in-chief of Elets Technomedia Private Limited. I am also the CEO and founder of Elets. We have been publishing a magazine called eGov for last 16 years, and we have also been publishing magazines on e-health, digital learning, and banking and finance. Today, we have a special guest with us, Mr. Vivek Pandey. He's an IAS officer. He's Commissioner of Trade and Taxes, Government of Delhi. And welcome, Vivek ji. Thank you for joining here. Thank you so much. And we are going to discuss with him about the ensuring supply of essential items during lockdown and effect of lockdown on taxation. This is a major topic, but we will keep on adding a few other areas of discussion as we go along. And before we start the discussion, I would like to say that Vivek Pandey ji is an IAS officer of the UT 2003 batch, and he has worked in several parts of India, and he has worked in another disaster situation. It was like a tsunami situation in Andaman and Oki in Lakshadweep. So he has an experience of that, what happens in a disaster and how does one act in the times of disaster. So we are having another type of disaster right now, which is a health disaster. And maybe there are some similar challenges, and we will know from him how he is handling those challenges. Mr. Vivek is also the state nodal officer for e-commerce companies and state nodal officer for pan-Indian companies to ensure supply of essential items during lockdown. And he's also heading an empowered group on private sector and NGOs and international organizations on response-related activities, including suggesting government on economic and welfare measures. And his core area is commerce, GST, and taxation. So he has worked in several departments across his career. So before we start the technical discussion with him, I will request him to give a brief idea about your education, what inspired you to get into the IAS services, and your journey in the IAS till now. Briefly, sir.
First of all, I thank Mr. Ravi and Mr. Harshal to give me this opportunity to share my views and experience on this forum. I joined IAS in 2003. Actually, I did my humanities from Allahabad University, and I was lucky bit that I got through in my maiden attempt. And it is now 17 years I have put in my service. I started my journey in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and when I was undergoing my training in Andaman and Nicobar Islands in 2004, tsunami struck these islands, and I was there at that moment. I have felt that tsunami, and after that, being an officer under training, I was sent to the most difficult island, that is called Teresa. That time, I really remember those moments, and it is nothing before that, because there was a physical devastation. You can see that when nature is against you, what can actually happen, and then you are helpless. And I managed the situation there, and you see here, we are just facing the difficulty that police is actually restricting on some barriers, but there in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, all the islands are scattered. And once there is no ship movement, no ration supply, no essential item can come. You have to survive what you have. And in case the weather conditions does not improve, you have to remain with those conditions for a very long time, and nobody can help you. Only God can help you. So I have seen those situations. So after that, I joined Delhi government. I was DM South Delhi. Then I have worked in MCD. And then for 1 year, I have studied in United Kingdom, in University of Manchester. I did my master's in urban development. So that also gave me international exposure of urban development, and not only the disaster, but the civic amenities, how to maintain that, especially in Delhi-like situation, where you have both the things. You have unauthorized colonies, you have posh colonies, and then you have income inequality. A lot of situations I studied, and then I joined as a labor commissioner. So I came across the labor issues of Delhi. in between I was advisor to Lakshadweep administrator, and then right now I am commissioner GST. So I can say that I have worked in several areas, and that has added in my experience and knowledge. And when I speak on, so all those inputs are always in my mind. So I can integrate in case I am talking to my counterpart, I understand what he's trying to say. And that is the benefit of this service, because you work in so many areas that when you speak to anyone, then you also understand and appreciate the problem of that person also. And your perspective is not, narrow or monologue. It is like you can comprehend the things. So this has helped me even in managing this situation also, that what a government can feel, what may be his difficulty or viewpoint, and what is the point of pioneering companies. So this is all about my journey so far.
Fantastic. Vivekji, requesting you to just adjust your camera in the center. Your face is half, better. So please, let's discuss about the first topic, which is ensuring supply of essential items during lockdown. Because of the lockdown, so many challenges are there in terms of movement and supply chain management. So please explain that how you have seen these challenges and how you have taken steps to overcome these challenges.
Raviji, if you appreciate this, then what happens in nowadays, that our entire supply chain is fragmented. There is no unit as such in Delhi which manufactures the thing and distributes here only. There are only few units. Our fragmented, when we talk about the fragmented supply chain, it means the manufacturer is sitting somewhere, the raw material is coming from somewhere, then it comes to the distributor, then it comes to the wholesaler, then it goes to the retailers, and then it goes to the customer. And in the entire supply chain, if you want to maintain a smooth supply chain, at every juncture you have to facilitate, and linkages should be there. In case any link is broken, your supply chain is interrupted. And Delhi like situation, what happens? Delhi is a distribution center as well as consumption center. Many of the things, like you just take the example of wheat, rice, sugar, many of these things are coming from Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, or nearby states. For matter, onion is coming from Nasik. So what happens, when we started this supply chain, then we can come to know that life is not that easy, because just facilitating some retailer shops or just facilitating some wholesaler shops, you are not going to maintain the supply chain. You have to actually facilitate from the manufacturer to the distributor to the entire supply chain. So initially we introduced the system of e-passes, and these e-passes were being given by the DM offices. There was a computerized software, and in which you will apply, and a concerned DM will immediately, based on the company's ID, will issue e-passes. But actually then when this process started, a lot of issues actually came. Then the e-companies whom I was dealing with, like Amazon, Big Basket, their warehouses are not situated in Delhi. They are located somewhere in Gurgaon, somewhere in Noida. So there was interstate issues. And then for each and everything, they cannot take the passes. Like they have to move their trucks, they have to then take the passes for the drivers and the cleaners, for the laborers. And then there was a problem of interstate border, because police was restricting that this stuff does not belong to Delhi. Why should we allow? And you know that there was a check-up guidelines. So initially when we started this job, it was very tough to actually convince every authority on the ground, no, it is essential item. And the second problem is that how do you define the essential item? A thing which is very much essential for me may not be essential for you, for that matter. For that matter, let me take a very light example, like liquor. You may think that it is a forbidden item, but for someone it is a regular routine. So it is very difficult to distinguish these, essential and not essential categories. But thanks to MHA, time to time it has actually understood the problem and reacted very responsibly and considering overall scenario. So the first relief we got when MHA issued an order that for interstate trucks, there need not be any e-pass, and any driver with one cleaner or one person can travel across the state, and nobody will ask for the pass until he has the, in case he has the valid driving license, and he's carrying any essential item. And then after, to remove that confusion also, MHA has said, okay, let it be any item. In case any truck is traveling interstate, Because then again you understand the thing, what happens, suppose that there is a big line of trucks and truck number 20 is carrying some essential item. So how will it move until 19 trucks will move? So these are the practical issues. When you will give the things, this is very interesting also, then I understood this very clearly, and it says, okay, let all the trucks move. And again, in case you will stop every truck to check their passes, then again there will be a very long delay. So it says interstate movements, in case truck is moving, it has the valid driving license, let it move. And then essential items they have defined. But initially it was rice, wheat, something, then they understood, no, life is not all about rice, wheat and everything. Then they started doing that, okay, you can move shampoo and this and that thing also. And but the good thing what has done that at the very central level, at the very higher level, they actually advised the e-commerce companies, from your site, you don't take the order for non-essential items. Only person can click the essential items, which is the daily course use things like beauty products you can't sell, garments you can't sell, TV, fridge, refrigerator you can't sell. But okay, someone wants some shampoo, some sanitary items. So they define that you cannot click on your site itself. And on the ground also, we have facilitated the wholesaler markets, then retailer markets. And initially some hitches were there, but after that, system became very smooth. And I can tell you, till today we have from the DM offices, we have facilitated. Initially, then I have made a group. I interacted many of them. I just had 3 webinars with them. After that, now till today, Delhi has issued more than 220,000 passes. This is not only to the e-commerce companies, but all the retailers, all category of, and some passes to the citizens, obviously for medical disease and all. But we have issued a number of passes and sufficient number of passes, and wholeheartedly. And after that, there was some problem on the ground that police was not allowing. But slowly we interacted with the DCPs and we raised the issue to a high level, so that you can see that during the entire lockdown period, there was no as such crisis of essential items. It became slowly smooth. And one more thing I want to add, then these big companies actually approached the government of India and set the big, and they urged that the bigger companies like Colgate, Amazon, which is operating pan-India basis, cannot go to the each DM office. So the Ministry of Consumer Affairs came with some web portal, and we interacted with them, and we took the responsibility that any pan-India companies, we will authorize a number of quota, means you can generate 50 passes. And now I have authorized you, I have checked your everything, and once satisfied, I have authorized you to generate 20 passes, or 50 passes, or 200 passes for that matter, after negotiating. And after that, we are not going to look into that, who are you issuing, why are you issuing, this is you, we have to trust you. I have authorized certain quota to you, and you can issue your passes yourself. And that quota is fixed, 200. To any point of time, 200% of your company can be on the ground. It facilitated pan-India companies to operate smoothly. Otherwise, they have to submit their I card and everything. So this process further got smoothened. So that's why, with the timely intervention and with the government of India and with the understanding of these people, yes, up to a great extent, we sailed through. Until now, things are, I am not saying that it's perfectly running. It cannot run like that normal scenario. But yes, up to a very large extent, people are satisfied. And initially, there was problem that Big Basket is not taking the orders, and Big Basket has another problem of labor. They recruited it, they trained it, and then again they increased their supply. And now I can understand that I got feedback also. Things are moving on ground, and there is as such no problem of movement, and as such there is no shortage of essential items.
Fantastic. Vivekji, tell us that after the April 20th order of MHA, where some services were allowed to be functioned in the some essential services in the rural areas, some factories were allowed, and there's another order today which talks about opening up of some of the shops, of the nearby shops. How are you seeing the situation changing now?
Yes, very good question, Raviji. It's a very fantastic question. Actually, what happens when India is it is a federal country. When MHA issues any order, so people take those orders and immediately rush that it is opened now. Like just before this meeting, I got a call from some industry that, sir, whether we can open it. The thing is that when MHA issues an order, it issues the order for 29 states and 7 union territories. If you go to the order, each state is advised to follow this order and consider based on their prevailing situations. order is just not, but the thing is that people just understand, people just take that order that this has been allowed now. Shops has to be open. No, this is not like that. Like it about the 20th order, we were discussing that whether we can allow these industries to open and how will you differentiate. And I put forward this point. I put forward this point that in case you will allow any industry, that entire sector you have to allow. You cannot say that big industries will work and small industries will not work. And for that matter, small industries work is more important because their livelihood will come in there. And once you will allow these things, the entire sector will open. Then who will ensure the social distancing, and who will ensure that there is no any COVID patient there? And after a lot of discussion, it came to notice that in Delhi, all 11 districts are in red zone. All 11 districts are in red zone. You will appreciate that Delhi is number 2 or 3. So, despite all the containment, the hotspot areas are spreading. So, it was a considered decision. So, wait for 1 more week, and we are not in a position to allow those things which NHA is actually suggesting. Though, and since things were settled, essential items were being supplied. So this particular order was not implemented. Even the SOP's order, Delhi government has now come up, so that we will examine the order and we will assess our situation. Then we will go for the opening of this SOP. So MHA order is very good, but it doesn't mean that once order is issued, we will immediately implement, because MHA order is for the entire country. And they always say, you assess your situation. What situation is prevailing? Like Goa is totally COVID free. They are claiming that there is no case. But can you implement this order in Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Chennai, Surat, Delhi? No, you cannot. So wait for until any order of MHA is endorsed by the Delhi government and they allow those activities. You cannot take it. And we are keeping a watch over the situation, because situation is very critical in Delhi. You can say we are still holding, but every day some new cases comes. So government is going slow. It is not in a hurry. I think they are very wise in that regard. You might have seen that they have not opened the offices suddenly. Because what will happen? Central government has opened the office, then suddenly there is a rush. So all the officers, all the staff, like I am a commissioner GST, but now I am working as state nodal officer for all these things. I am already working. So entire machinery is already working for COVID duties. So as such, opening the offices will not yield any purpose right now. So the MHA is interpreted in such a way until endorsed by the Delhi government after assessing the situation, and any clear direction comes from the CM office or from the higher authority of Delhi, because MHA always says that you assess your situation and then advise and issue order for your state. So we do it time to time, and whenever anything is open, obviously, and the state government has to open it. Why will we stop? Because this is double-edged sword. In case we will stop this industry and factories, and shops will not get revenue. So it is in our interest also that things are open. But in the larger interest is public health, which is critical here. And I think after 27th April meeting with the PM, and there is some brainstorming going on, they will come out with some plan.
Great. Please, let's go on to the second part of the discussion, which is about the effect of lockdown on taxation. How do you see this situation?
Yes, you will appreciate that any government cannot run without taxes. Actually, government is what? It is the collection of our and your paid taxes, which is accumulated and actually given for many welfare activities. And you know, our government is very kind-hearted, and it is really working very effectively, and for the downtrodden people, for the poor people. And you have seen that how migrant laborers, it is very difficult to to stop them from not migrating, and for that you have to make a lot of arrangement. So that we were and whenever any government makes its budget, it always considers the flow of money which will come and the way it will be spent. But suddenly the situation has come for the last 2 months. In the month of March, you will appreciate that in the month of March itself, the GST, overall GST collection at pan-India level was less than 1 lakh crore. It reduced 1 lakh crore rupees, less than the expected collection. Likewise, in Delhi also, our collection, what we have anticipated, it has gone down 1,000 crore rupees. And when the new year started and I was comparing the figure, you know, there are still some items which is not covered under the GST, like petrol, liquor. And to my surprise, I was just checking the figure of 15th April. Up to 15th April, there was a decline of 92% in VAT because no liquor shop is open. There was no movement of vehicle, and you see the petroleum in the entire industry of petroleum, it is coming down like anything at international level. What we talk about level. So 92% decline was there in VAT. And now today, before talking to you, I was checking the figure. So we are going down by 75% of collection. And situation is not very welcoming in coming months. And I was talking to CII, SHM, and other business entities and their representatives. They all are actually asking at pan-India level also. They are asking for bailout packages. They want more from the government rather giving the taxes because they are saying until we work, how will you get the tax? And our problem is that even if I want to give you bailout package, from where the money will come? The thing that this is now going to roll out, and even all the state governments are looking to the center that they should provide something, and center is also in dilemma from where to give the money. So all the sectors are affected, and as per my assessment, in case things go like this, but we have to survive in this situation. I don't know what will the government take on the budget, but yes, there is a very substantive decline in the tax collection. And the way I am talking to the small industries, because labor has migrated, there are a lot of issues coming. Then there is a minimum wages imposed in Delhi. They were saying that some minimum wages that time also was very high comparing to other neighboring states. And now in these difficult times, without work we are paying, we cannot sustain. That is also a genuine problem, because as I told you, when you have to understand the issue, you have to think from everyone's perspective. But in the meantime, then labor unions are there. They are saying that, sir, how will we survive without our wages? So this is something, a very churning problem, which we have to look into. But I think in coming months, it will take 3-4 months to resume the market. As someone was telling me that even if lockdown is open, we will not get this confidence to immediately go to the mall or restaurant, because there is a public psyche also. It will take months to come out from it. So what I think that we have to wait for 2-3 months to resume the entire thing. And initially, we should not actually be very optimistic about the tax collection. And I think that our focus would be to promote these industries to work first, and promote and the market should gain confidence. And after 3-4 months, once this phase will be over, other things will come into the knowledge.
You would be globally, we are seeing the situation of this pandemic, and if you look at US, Canada, UK, Spain, Italy, all over the place. Many countries are now, as you mentioned about bailout packages are being given by the governments, and in the US, the job losses have dramatically risen in last 1 month, and the unemployment rate has shot up, and a lot of companies are getting bankrupt. So do you see a situation that in the next 2-3 months, if the situation is anyway in a bad shape, and there might be a lot of companies which are in your region itself may go bankrupt, and that may ultimately reduce the tax collection in the later half of the year. So are there any discussions in the government about how to help especially the MSME and the SME sector, which don't have enough cash reserves?
Good question, Raviji. And as I told you, I am heading an expert group and interacting with all the stakeholders. And this actually expert group is the counterpart of the central group. At the central government level, there is an empowered group there are 11 empowered groups which were constituted, and they are actually talking to all the stakeholders at a very higher level. And we must appreciate that Delhi and every state is actually interested to retain the labor. Every state government is serving them food, giving them shelters, facilitating them, actually appealing all the industries to pay their wages even though they are not working. So I mean to say that every state government at their level is trying to actually reinstate the supply line to actually resume the manufacturing and everything. After that, labor is the core point of anything. Now again the dilemma will come that once until labor will get the money, there won't be much demand in the market. So even if you want to start the manufacturing, you have to have the demand for that item to be consumed. And the second thing is that they are saying that until we manufacture the thing and we get the money, how will we pay? So again, this dilemma will come. But overall, let me tell you that at a very higher level, GST level, Government of India level, every ministry is working on this. And obviously, there are some solutions which can be taken by the central government at very higher level. But when it comes to the state government, that you can see that it has also made some important groups to suggest what can we do. And you can see the announcement of our Chief Minister every day that please don't take the rentals from the students and from the laborers. And what could we, what can we do, like distributing free rations, distributing free food, distributing, giving them night shelters, everything we are doing. And then in the second phase, we will see how can we help the industry and how can we do the, how can we facilitate the manufacturing and the industry's operation. But yes, in end of the day, you can play within your revenue. You cannot go out. Again, there is a dilemma. Government can always be allowed provided it has the money. So we have to see, we have to balance it out, that how can we continue our welfare measures. In the meantime, how can we facilitate the industries and businesses? What sort of relief can we give? What kind of relaxation we can give? Like in GST, I have just extended the date of filing of return to 30th of June, because after every quarter, in case you don't file up to 20th of the next consecutive month, each day there is a penalty of 200 rupees. But there is a lockdown and they cannot go. So we have promptly just extended this filing of return till the 30th of June. Likewise, whatever the smaller intervention for facilitating and for giving them relief within the limit of law we are doing. But the big bailout packages, we have to see the overall situation of the industries, and it cannot be one state specific. I think the central government is also working on it, and we have to wait for that. But the problem is also genuine, I appreciate, but problem of the state is also genuine.
Sir, Vivekji, there are some questions on your screen. If you can open the Q&A section, there are some questions by the audience. In the bottom of the screen, if you look on your bottom or left or right, like there is a chat option and there is a Q&A option. Are you able to see?
There is one question I can see from Souvik Goswami.
Yes.
How do you think government can cope up with the fall in sales tax collection given the unprecedented financial crisis due to the outbreak and prolonged lockdown? Yes, this is a very right question. Actually, we are thinking on this aspect. But right now, our priority is to extend the maximum support to the poor and downtrodden, and to help them stay in Delhi, so that once this lockdown is over and manufacturing and industry starts out their operation, they should go to their work and production starts. Obviously, we have to, up to some time, wait for this entire market to resume. And this year, we are actually not very hopeful that we will achieve our target given the condition. And we are still not sure how long will this COVID will prevail, and how long will it take the market to resume the things. So yes, it is a fact, and we are actually pursuing central government to actually pay our compensation, or something is left from the central government that we can pursue. But obviously, at this point of time, we cannot pressurize our taxpayers to that extent, because they also need some help. So at a very high level, we will discuss this. But yes, we are actually hoping or anticipating some shortfall in the revenue this year. Then what is the impact of lockdown on taxation system? How long it will take to come back to normalcy? No one actually can predict, because after 3rd May, we are hoping that some relaxation can come. But yes, as I told you, it will take 2 to 3 months at least to resume the manufacturing, the supply, the market to open, the people to go to the market and start spending. Once people start spending and purchasing, then only tax will come. So in case you ask my personal opinion about that, if 3rd May lockdown is over, I think 2 to 3 months it will take to resume the normalcy, and after that we can comment on that. But no one at this point of time can predict how the things will go, how the COVID-19 will behave, how it is going on, because people are predicting that after May, I think the effect will go down. So after that, from May you can count 2-3 months. So that will be the my estimation regarding this normalcy situation. Then traders and small business are hardly hitting this corona virus. What are the plans for religion to support traders? What are contingency plans the government? Yes. Now we are going to suggest certain measures to the government. Like one example I can give you. Government, you might have heard that the government has given 5,000 rupees to taxi drivers. Government has given some, has transferred some amount to the construction workers. So likewise, some sectors which government is finding it necessary is transferring the amount. Regarding the small traders, MSME, like once the government priority right now this time is to actually come out from this pandemic. After that, obviously, this aspect will be looked into, that how can we help them in form of taxation or in form of some implementation. That is time to come, because right now we are getting the inputs, like one input I have got from you also, that what is our plan. That is, I can respond to this, that we are in the process of making the plan to help them out based on their suggestions and within the ambit of our own revenue collection and ambit of law. All measures have present which will result in massive dip in tax layer. It will ask for mopping up the collection and widen the tax rate. On the other hand, industrial debtors which are hurt by the lockdown will also expect some relief from the government. How do you plan to handle this contradiction? Yes, I always cover this topic, that in case you take this view at contradictory view, that is one opinion, but we are selling in the same boat, because government and taxpayers and tax collectors, we are selling in the same boat. Situation is hard for everyone. So we have to come out from the situation collectively. So obviously, the government, as I told, that we are not anticipating that much tax collection which we would have anticipated without this corona. So right now our plan is to facilitate industries, manufacturers and shopkeepers, tourism, hotel business to first resume their normalcy. Within that, based on their suggestions, we will see how can they be helped and what government can do from them. I have talked to the Chamber of Commerce today, and we are seeking the inputs from all the corners. And after that, we will suggest something to the government, and government is also planning. And government will see that what can they do within the given what we'll say our revenue collection, because any relief you will give, you need revenue, and that is in question right now. So government has to plan within its revenue collection. After this COVID-19 is over, we will see that you might have seen at the central government level, they have just put that there is no DA increase in the salaries of any central government. Like this is one of the measures, because the money they will actually accrue from there, they will spend from the to the other sector or for the benefit of other people. So likewise, government may come out with some features like this, wherein they can restrict some activities and utilize that money in other sectors, so that other sectors can take a boost and start their businesses first. Yes, there are many questions like migration pattern. Yes, this is also a very right question. It is a very apt time to study pattern. Yes, after that, a lot of study will take place regarding this migration pattern. Because yes, first time it has been seen that people are running from cities to the villages. So this is a new pattern, and after that, a lot of studies will take place, and it is a need of our also. And like our Prime Minister has said, that self-sustained economy concept may also emerge after this. So what will be the effect of this entire lockdown and the corona crisis? That will come after some time once things are over. So we have to wait for that time. But it's a very right suggestion. I appreciate this, that there should be a study what has happened and what is the migration pattern after corona.
You have the most important question there. What do you think lockdown will extend, and how long?
that only corona can tell. How long will it last? I think some studies are there that after 30th May things will go down, and everything comes to an end. It will also come to an end. And I think up to this time we have controlled the infection to a greater level. And I don't know, but I hope personally that after 30th of May it will subside.
What is the exit strategy you are looking from this situation?
The strategy right now is that like e-commerce companies are there. The first and foremost thing is that during this lockdown too, it is not like right now also we are getting less taxes, but we are getting taxes. It means things are being consumed. It is not zero. It
Yes.
means e-commerce companies, and in future to come, I can see that e-commerce companies network is there, and it is not the case. The bright side is that in case people will not prefer to go to the market, but they will purchase from their homes only.
Yes.
And
Yes.
another opportunity which I see is that after 45 days or 22 months lockdown, people will explore for the shopping because they just want to go out, they just want to shop. So there is another thing which I can see, that within 2 months, coming 2 months after the lockdown, the entire revenue loss may be covered also, because the market works on demand and supply, and
Yes.
people are eager to go out, people are eager to go to the service industry. And I think the Indian population is so vast, and Delhi people are so large-hearted, that once this lockdown will be over, they will purchase the things, they will go as usual, and suddenly the market will boom. And that will be a very good opportunity for all the manufacturers, the entire industry. It will suddenly go up. That happens. So this is also an opportunity I am looking for, because no one knows the future. We can see that it will go slow down, and very slowly it will resume. But it can happen like this, that people will just go out and people will purchase online this and that, and the entire industry booms. So it is also, and then after that, the revenue collection will also grow up, and the entire market will start, economy will start. It is a kick start.
Uh, the Delhi is a lot of urban area, and there is a big industry of hotels, restaurants, bars, uh, which is a service industry, and we have some of the best hotels in this country, wedding halls, like all these contribute a good chunk of taxes to the government. So how do you see this sector reviving?
Yes. First of all, regarding the hotels, you might have heard the news that government is also taking some hotels on rent to put their nurses, doctors, paramedical staff. Some countries made quarantine center. The hotel industries are not is it is not 100% on staff, but yes, their business has gone down. Then it comes to the banquet hall, this and that. Yes, they have to wait for 2 3 months to resume their businesses. This is the outcome of this corona. But certain industries like because these things are very much connected to travel and business. Once business will resume and tourism will regain confidence, then only these sectors will boom up. Regarding the banquet halls and the local industry, I think once this corona, because marriage season is coming, May and June, most of the marriages takes place. So this is not going to stop. And still in this situation, you will remember that there are certain news that there was a party, people were gathered here, there was a marriage, people were gathered here, because India by nature is a celebrity type of people. They just enjoy festivals, they just try to be, they try to celebrate their any occasion. So that tendency will not go. Once I'm quite sure that you just once this lockdown is lifted, lot all the marriage halls will get the bookings, because there are a lot of occasions lined up. And once this will go, I think just after this lockdown is lifted, within 1 or 2 months, I can see that local businesses actually will start booming. But regarding the five-star hotels, it will take big time, because it is very much related to the tourism industry as well as business industry. So they might have their own plans also. Yes, this is a tough situation, but I hope that within 1 or 2 months, everything will start going, because business by nature, it blossoms on its own philosophy.
But sir, because of the social distancing, like how can restaurants operate? How can bars operate? How can malls operate in the social distancing era?
Yes, okay. Necessity is the mother of invention. When necessity is the mother of invention. When any necessity arises, invention takes place. To open the restaurant, there are 50 seats, there will be 25 seats. There will be 30 seats, there will be some distance seats, there will be some distance among the chairs. So things can be, there are a lot of innovation in the country. So in case you have to run the business, you have to follow the rules. And like now, I am telling you that there are a lot of startups. They may come up with some new ideas how to maintain social distance but enjoy their parties. That may take place, right? Like I am saying that there is a restaurant having 50 seats. Now there is a social distancing norm. You have to maintain 35 seats. Okay, make some distance, a reasonable distance. And end of the day, more than restaurants, more than malls, after the 35, 40 days lockdown, everyone is sincere about their life, their health. It is not now the government imposed restrictions. Like even if you will go out, you will put your mask. You yourself will maintain social distancing. In the day, it is the change in public behavior, and 30 days lockdown is too much to change that public behavior. So that even if the market opens, lockdown is lifted, you will see that people are going with the mask for some time. So once this restaurant and malls will start, so people is also adapting now. People are also adaptive, and malls will also maintain that culture, I think, because after this much lockdown, they have understood that it is a very serious thing. So they will not do any, for a small profit, they will not take a bigger loss. That government will come out and again put it down. So I think it is mutual consent behavior, and it is mutually understood behavior, you can say. I hope that as the things take place, people are mature enough, as well as the traders, and since they have also gone a tough time, they will follow the norms, and they won't do anything which will again compel government to take a decision against this business to stop again.
So, Vivekji, one of the biggest revenue for any state is liquor revenue. Some states like Kerala have perhaps allowed sale of liquor, and they've also done it to save lives because there were suicides happening. So, has Delhi government thought about this issue? And there are reports that lakhs of liters of liquor is being thrown in the drains. So do you think that liquor should be opened as an essential item, or online delivery of liquor should be allowed?
Okay, this is a very bad news for the boozers, that 4 lakh liters or whatever amount of liquor has been thrown out. And the matter, you think about the Punjab, and people are there in their home and they are not getting it. And I have heard that one chief minister has officially written to the central government to allow it. But there are two aspects of this thing. In a very lighter mode, we can also ask that, okay, allow it. Then people will purchase it, and people are still purchasing from somewhere here and there. And government is also incurring loss on this sector. But the second step, if you take another point of view, you will understand the perspective that, okay, for the higher class, that is one thing, but there may be some social problems, because you are at home all the time, you are consuming liquor. First of all, you don't have money. When a government takes a policy decision, it thinks about all the strata of society. First of all, even though there is no lockdown, there was a lot of problems. Liquor is still considered as a social evil. You think about a poor man who is not having bread and butter, who is actually dependent on government for 2 times of meal, and government is providing ration. And now, once you will open the liquor shop, it is all likely that the lower strata, the neighbor, then other people, they will start going, and they can sell this money, they can sell this ration out, or whatever money or saving they have, they can go and purchase liquor at any cost, and they will come, they are there in the one house only, then there will be fight, there will be social problems. So better in the larger interest of the society, government, I think, have taken this, because it is not a very high level decision, it's not a very high level decision that only some people will purchase. Once it is open for all. And you will see that all those people will go and put all their money in this thing, and the entire safety of that household will come in danger. And you have to appreciate that bigger picture. I think that is a considered opinion of government, in my opinion, that it is not allowing right now.
Fantastic. Vivekji, I think we have had a great interaction with you. And thanks for giving the perspective on both the supply of the essential services and also about the tax losses, and also some idea about how did government handle this situation of allowing the e-commerce company tracks. I think it was.
So, one point here, Raviji, I want
Yes,
to,
yes, yes.
government is with you.
Mm.
Government is what? Government is the selected people who either have been selected or elected by you people. So we are selling in the same boat. The government is also trying very hard to actually help all the sectors, may it be labor, may it be industry, may it be businessman. So we are worried about revenue collection, but first worry of the government is the welfare of every people. So promoting business, facilitating manufacturing, and welfare of laborers, this is all the priority area of the government. So be sure that government will first look into this aspect, then looking that how can we just augment the taxation. That will come subsequently. Because in case business will prosper and people are happy, people are getting money, so obviously sooner or later tax collection will come. Some tax is what? You purchase the thing, you pay the tax. If you don't have the purchasing power, no tax will come. So our first priority is that you should go, you should be happy, you should go and purchase, business should blossom. It is in the interest of the entire society as well as of the government. So our priority is that everyone should get money, business should run, market should open, it should resume normalcy, and once it will all happen, all the tax losses will be covered and questioned.
One thing which I forgot to ask: do you think that unemployment will increase due to this Corona situation?
Yes, I will be very candid on this because unemployment may take place because some, especially in small industries who doesn't have a very big chunk of money or capital for this situation. Some unemployment may take place, but it also depends how the market behaves. In case I told you there is one probability that market will boom after this lockdown, there will be a lot of manufacturing, there will be sudden demand of the things, and all the laborers will be taken. As I told you, in the case of Big Basket, they were not actually ready for this situation. Suppose that they were taking 20,000 orders in a day in a normal situation, but suddenly there is a demand for 50,000 orders because other things are. So then there is an opportunity. In case people want to work in Big Basket, there is an opportunity of 3,000 people, but now they are not getting the labor. So it works. Dynamics will work this way. In case somewhere labor will get unemployed, there are opportunities opening some other ways. So market works on demand and supply. So what I think from here is that in certain sectors like e-commerce, because people have understood that like in e-commerce, in any situation it will work. E-commerce companies may actually recruit some more people. People may start shopping from e-commerce more. So these things, in case somewhere there is a somewhere there is a shutdown, and somewhere there is a recruitment open. So the market dynamics will maintain itself. I don't think that unemployment will be that great a problem for a certain time. It may happen, but I have come across to the companies and they were saying that we don't have labor. Many chief ministers are actually asking Bihar chief minister, what I have heard from the news, that please send the labor. So labor is very important component, and people have understood the reality that whatever you talk about the digital economy, labor is the core. So it may happen that every industry will ask, okay, in any situation we will contain our labor. So it may work in both the ways, as one of the person actually suggested that there should be study. So this is our prediction that unemployment will come, but I think this may also happen that employment opportunity in some other sectors will open up, and market dynamics will maintain it.
So, Vivekji, thanks a lot for giving a great perspective to the whole situation. Vivekji, last thing that you have come to our conferences, you have seen our magazines, and you are here on webinar today. Elets has been trying to disseminate the government initiatives, the reforms you all are doing, and a lot of IT which you all are using, and your suggestions and inputs on our initiatives.
Okay, thank you, Raviji. I know I have been to your conferences earlier also in Luna also. That is a very good platform. I think that in democracy discussion is the best way to know each one's perspective. When people ask questions and when we interact with people, like I am telling you, I am right now gathering the inputs from all these stakeholders. Like to this conversation also, I came to know many points you have actually raised, which might have not been my mind, that portion. Now I will note it down, and some listeners have also raised certain issues. So all those inputs and feedbacks are important for us. We take care of all those inputs, and obviously, government has formulated this committee only to take the inputs and to plan out something. So we are concerned, and these type of forums actually give us great opportunity to interact with you and with all the stakeholders, and so that a policymaker is as good as he is connected to the ground. So this gives us to know the ground reality, to know the expectation of the people, and to receive their suggestions, and it actually helps us to make a better policy.
Fantastic. So, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद विवेक जी. And I request, I thank all the audience also for being here on the Zoom and the Facebook. And all those people who are on the Facebook, I will request you all to please like and share this video so that more and more people are aware about what the Delhi government is doing in terms of this combating this situation in COVID-19 and how this government is trying to help us. So with this, thank you Vivek ji and namaskar everyone. Namaskar.